being all that I can be. I can't call in sick on Mondays when the weekend's been too strong. I just work straight through the holidays, sometimes all night long. You can bet that I stand ready when the wolf growls.
Hello, this is Rick Wheat with the Patriot Housing Initiative on behalf of Invest in America's Veterans Foundation. And we're here with another success story. Our guest for today is Renorita Phelps. She is a resident at our Silas Creek community in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Welcome, Ms. Phelps.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about you. Where are you from?
Well, I'm originally from Washington, D.C., and I moved here about 20 years ago, and this is my home now.
Excellent. What branch of the service were you in?
I was in the Army.
And what did you do?
I was an arms specialist in a 76 Yankee military. I worked in arms supply as well as in the arms room issuing out weapons to the battalion.
Good deal. And where did you serve?
I served overseas. I did my overseas tour in Korea.
Mm-hmm.
I did my basic training at Fort Jackson, South Carolina. And my last duty station was at Fort Raleigh, Kansas.
Good deal. Why did you leave the service?
Well, I did my time. I tried to re-enlist. At the time that I wanted to re-enlist, they give you 3 options of your overseas tour. And they denied my overseas tour. So I went to the Hoffman building where they cut your orders at to see about getting an overseas tour. And from what I was told was that the sergeant that was over top of me was about to retire, and they had nobody to fill his slot but me at the time. So they denied my overseas tour so that I could stay at Fort Raleigh, Kansas. And I didn't want that. I wanted to go, if I was going to re-enlist, I wanted to go where I wanted to go.
Someplace exotic besides Kansas.
Exactly. So, when they denied me, I said, well, okay, I did my time, so I can get out.
Sure. What are you doing now?
Right now, I'm unemployed. I'm going through a battle right now with Social Security. I have my hearing that's coming up next month. And I'm waiting to go to my hearing to see what the results is going to be. Got
it. Ms. Phelps, tell us a little bit about some of the challenges that you faced once you left the military to now.
Well, when I got out the military, the jobs wasn't too good, especially in the MOS that I was in. They didn't have too many jobs, civilian jobs, where you have to work in an arms room or dealing with weapons or anything like that. So I did little odds and ends jobs, like worked at school security, Washington, D.C. for the D.C. public schools. I did that for a couple of years. And after that, I did a private duty company with executive security. And I worked downtown at the municipal building in Washington, D.C.
Mm-hmm. And some of the challenges that you had to contend with that led you to connect with Greg in the VASH program.
Yes. How I ended up with the HUD VASH program was back in 2015. I endured open heart surgery, and I had to go through a double heart bypass. And at the time, the VA was diagnosing me as having acid reflux up in Albany, New York, where I was living at the time. So they wasn't aware of my heart condition until I resided back here in North Carolina. And I was still having troubles with my heart, having heart problems, and I went to the emergency ER at Baptist Hospital, where they detected I was having ongoing heart attacks. So they had to rush me in to do an open heart surgery to have a double heart bypass.
Goodness. And then that led you to be off your feet for a while, or is that?
Yes, at that time that put me out of work because I was working as a certified nursing assistant as well as a medication technician. And with me being out of work at that time, I lost my job. I had just moved into a brand new home, 3-bedroom home, and due to losing my job, I could not keep my home, so I lost my job and I became homeless at that time. I hooked up with Greg Pearson through the HUD-VASH program. I had a nervous breakdown because of everything after my heart attack, and I was advised to go to mental health at the VA. Well, once I went to mental health, I was hooked up with Benicia Bond, who is one of the coordinators for the HUD-VASH program. And at that time, she was able to assist me in a lot of things with the Greg Pearson, who does placement for housing, and they was able to get me emergency Section 8, and I was able to get housing through the HUD-VASH and through Greg Pearson.
Is this the first place that you went, or did Greg put you in a couple of other places?
Well, this is actually the second place that I've been to. The first place was more of a temporary housing for me, just to get a roof over my head at the time. Where I was staying at previous, it had a lot of steps to get to my entrance. I had like 21 steps in the front, 21 steps in the back. And with me having a heart condition and then having foot surgery, I wasn't able to go up and down the steps. So at that time, Greg was able to find me a place here at Saddles Creek Apartment, which was more handicap accessible and met my accommodations.
What about our housing initiative program, the requirements and the limitations that we've removed? What about that made it beneficial for you?
Well, that made it easier for me because at that time, with me not having any income, I did have the Housing Authority, who gave me an emergency, like I said, emergency Section 8 voucher. But then you still had your utilities that you had to pay, like your water and your electric. And that became a struggle for me with me not having any income coming in. It was a struggle. I had to depend on different funding programs. I had to go through crisis control a couple of times just to meet those needs to pay those bills. So once Greg found a place here for me at Saddles Creek, and through the investment program, they was able to place me here where everything was included with my rent with the Section 8 vouchers, which made it a lot easier for me.
Excellent, excellent. Well, give us an idea how your life's better now than it used to be.
Well, one thing is that I'm not on the streets. That's first and foremost, and I thank God for that. And with me having a roof over my head and me not having to depend on, have to worry about paying bills, has made my life a lot easier.
Sure. Well, what's one of the best things that you can say about Greg, about the VASH program, about our organization? Give us an idea. What do you think is one of the best things that's out there about that?
Well, I think that for anyone or any veteran who is homeless out there, there is hope. There is hope.
Bless your heart. Would you recommend this to other veterans that are in need?
Yes, I would. I would have really recommend it to any veterans who's out there who don't think that there's hope for them, that don't think that there's help out there for them. If they go through the VET and the VA and get in contact with mental health or the HUD-VASH program, you're guaranteed to get some type of help and results.
Good deal. Well, Ms. Phelps, we very much appreciate your service.
Thank you.
We appreciate and enjoy having you here as a resident with us at Saddles Creek.
Yes.
And wish you the very best of success for the future.
Well, thank you very much. I enjoyed being here.
Great. Thanks a lot.
Being all that I can be, I can't call in sick on Mondays when the weekend's been too strong. I just work straight through the holidays, sometimes all night long. You can bet that I stand